Should I sit closer?
Like, hello. What's up, guys? Today's video looks maybe a little bit different than a usual video. As you guys can tell from a little bit of the intro that we just posted, we have something new we're gonna announce. Me and PJ here, and we're gonna make somewhat of a. We're gonna take this relationship public. As you would see, like
on Facebook or
yeah, we got a pretty fun announcement that we're gonna be dropping here.
It's happening! It's happening! It's happening!
Called Public Course Golf. So let's do a little golf clap. We got a podcast that you guys are obviously watching now, and an Instagram doing some golf.
Wait, shouldn't a public golf course clap be not so prim and proper? It's like, yes. Oh, what a great shot for a triple bogey. Yes.
That is way more ideal.
Yes.
For a public golf course.
You know, private golf course, the guy took like 5 mulligans, and you're like,
oh, nice shot.
Yeah, nice shorts.
Nice shot, Zim. This is content based towards your everyday golfer. So yeah, so we're super excited to announce a podcast. Things are going to be kind of shifting and changing and adjusting, but we're really excited to bring this to you guys. So it's called Public Course Golf, and again, it's designed towards just your everyday golfer, the people that like getting out, playing for fun. You don't got to be wearing a tucked-in shirt. You know, you're not half the time you're not even making a tee time. We're excited to kind of do some everyday golf talk, a little bull snitting, kind of talking a little trash. Yeah, just enjoying some golf talk. Kind of pretty much the same stuff that we talk about
in the ice house when we don't catch fish.
Which we just finished off the fun part. So it's snowing out actually quite a bit right now.
Yes.
But we tried to ice fish one last time this year. It's done. It's kaput. We're done for the year. We're making the transition into golf. And hence why we thought this would be a perfect time to segue into our new Instagram and podcast. Our goal is to drop one episode a week. We're shooting between maybe around 45 minutes. Kind of depends on the topic, the conversation. But our goal is to drop once a week. You can follow us on Instagram at Public Course Golf. We're going to put it right here. You can hit that little link, or in the description box down below, you can hit the link. Check out the Instagram. Be sure to give us a follow. And then I'm also going to link Paul's Instagram and my Instagram so you guys can check them out, learn a little bit more about us. And without further ado, let's jump into Public Course Golf Episode 1.
Every year we get to this time, you know, about early March, it's like, the winter's going too long, especially in Minnesota. It's like, when does this end? And you start seeing your golf clubs in the garage. You're like, oh my gosh, those things, I can't wait to swing you again. And you're like, when is this going to start? And then you start thinking, man, there's a golf show that happened and I should have bought some stuff there. And you're thinking, man, I've gained some weight over the winter. And it's like, well, my golf shorts going to fit me? You know, I'm size 36, 30, whatever they are. And it's like, you know, if I squeeze in, I'm 36, but
I may need to go up to a 40 for this year.
Yeah.
You never know.
And you're like, you know, well, it's all about spending money. You want to look good for golf. It's all that matters.
Your game really doesn't change
matter
much.
No,
especially when you go hit that public course golf.
Well, all we can live vicariously through the golfers on TV, and it's like, that's going to be me. Because here we come. It's March, but in like 3 months, it'll be nice out, and then the summer will be over after a month.
And they'll be back to ice fishing.
Yep.
So
we're going to dream, and we're going to think about what it's like to be a golfer. And thinking, you know what, there's got to be more luck than ice fishing in golf. So
if there's not, then I don't think we can ice fish or we can golf anymore. Because that was a brutal year.
Close circuit to our wives. We are great ice fishers. We're great golfers. We accomplish a lot of the life goals by hanging out together. And there's nothing, you know, giving up your time and watching the kids so we can golf and ice fish, you realize that we are changing the world.
Solving all the problems.
All the problems, yes.
Catching all the fish, supplying food for you guys. So you're welcome.
So when you like Mike, so when you're trying to, you know, when you're thinking about, okay, golf season is upon us, like, you know, all of us think it's a brand new year, it's a brand new start, It feels like the world is our oyster. The it's our canvas to take our our painted colors of 3 woods and 7 irons and just paint it, and then a chip in for birdie kind of thing, right? I mean,
100%.
But the reality is that probably it's not that. Right?
No,
Yeah.
100%. If you really think about, especially the average scratch golfer, the picture you have in your head to start the season, and then what really ends up happening, it always especially your first round out. Even us in Minnesota, we've been fortunate enough to go hit either the AL Golf Center, the indoor simulator, or even Wedgwood as a simulator. Wedgwood's our home course that we play, and it's one of those. It's like once you get the rust off, especially as a scratch golfer, your first few rounds, you want to tell yourself, you're like, wow, it's just because I haven't played in a while. So this will be a rough round.
And you can keep using that same thing all the way through August.
Oh,
because if you play with different people, oh man, I just
haven't swung
my club much, and and you can use that as much as you want, and it works really well. Yeah.
And so that's I feel like that's kind of the main, in your head you picture you're gonna have this crazy breakthrough, and you're gonna be like, well, obviously next time we come out we're gonna be able to. We're going to be on the green in regulation, putting for birdie.
Well, I can't tell you how many times we've been together and I'm saying, I don't normally play like this.
It's actually, we play together almost every time.
The last time somebody played was the same way. But if I keep using that excuse, then it's I don't normally. The one time I played well, that's my standard. I played well that one time, so I don't normally play like this.
I know I can play better.
Well, a couple of years ago, we went to a golf show. And we're like, you know what? All these discounted clothing, discounted stuff, hats. And part of, golfers, it's kind of a good look. My wife even says, if you dress like a golfer, I'm more attractive. So, at this point in my life, 12 years into marriage, or how many years it has been? Let's see, 2010. 13 years.
This will be year 13.
Year 13. Both of us got married the same night. No, we didn't get married the same night, but same year. And it's like, golf clothing looks good. And you get all excited. You go to these golf shows. You're thinking, okay, these polos are half off, and
you get 3 for $21.
Yeah, you get this hat that's got a patch that you can change on it that says "I still suck at golf." And you feel good about yourself, and that gives you a false sense, I think, of what it's going to be like. But that's the reason why you keep going back. Just like when they say you get one good shot, you keep going back. You get a nice golf polo, you think, at least I look good when I do this, and then you think to yourself, I'd probably dress better for you than I do for my wife on a freaking date night. It's like
get the matching shorts. Make sure you match your golf spikes, and then you get the hat that accompanies it.
You go out there, the first tee shot, you hit it backwards.
but you'll get better. I'll get better. It's just I haven't played much.
Yeah, I played much at all, but I still look good. And that's all that matters. You see guys that I think that's what all golfers feel like. That's why they promote that stuff, because then you can buy the stuff that the pros wear, and you look like you mean business. You look the part, but you really you can't hit the broadside of a barn. But I remember I went and teed off in Colorado once, and I remember there was houses to the left, and I just sliced it. I hit it off of the house, the roof. And everyone looks at me, but I was wearing a TaylorMade, Titleist shirts, or
ripping stuff from
Chubbies,
short par 4.
Yeah, short par 4 stuff.
You got so many different options now the short par 4, you can literally do a subscription every month. They'll send you a full new outfit of fresh shirt, pants, belt, hat. So you literally can look the part every single week, or every month you get a new one. But
yeah, it's just kind of one of those deals where you say to yourself, if I look good, maybe that somehow influences my game. I think every guy about March is like, look at my closet. It's like, you know what? If I'm going to play golf soon, how am I going to look when I play golf? And even public course guys. I mean, private courses, they have dress codes. But public courses, we do the same thing. It's like, if you feel good about how you look, then all of a sudden you're going to hit a ball better, but it has nothing to do with it.
No, it doesn't.
You could go out there in jeans and a t-shirt and your cowboy boots and probably hit a better shot than what we can hit.
Yeah. Right. Then you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Like you get a lot of these guys that, they'll put on their $150 golf outfit and hoping like
And they're
trying to
playing a $30 course.
hitting the X out balls from Walmart, you know, or which there's nothing wrong with it.
No.
Golf balls. I mean, that's a whole nother topic, but I mean, it's one of those. Yeah, you go all out on the outfit, but then you got the clubs that are 18 years old.
Well, I haven't washed my clubs in like 15 years. I mean, what I like to do is I like to carry. So I'm all about history. So I want to carry my battle scars with me. So like the first time I ever chipped one into the water, I want that divot that was 15 feet deep. I want part of that still on my club, so I can carry that with me. It's battle scars, so that even when I finally hit one on my third breakfast ball, with my foot wedge that I know that was my great shot that I hit, and it's still on my club. So my clubs you can't even tell what they are. I mean, my 3-wood looks like my driver. You can't tell if it's a 3 or a 1. You can't tell if my pitching wedge is a P or if it's a I don't know. You don't even
5.
know.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You just say, "Yep, this is my clubs." But the Wedgwood carts have the washers.
Cleaners.
What's my problem? I don't know.
Yeah, when you get, you go to even some of the newer and I would say nicer public courses.
They got their cleaners.
Wedgwood's one of them.
Yep.
It maybe has the feel. Some people, if you've never been there, it feels more like a private type of club, just because things are so nice, food's so good, and. But yeah, you get all these fancy carts that have a GPS on them. They got the ball cleaner, the club cleaner. So there's really no excuse.
Well, but here's what I think of all that stuff. It's also either it makes you. I think it adds to the fact that when golfers go out, you feel like you suck more because not only do you have clubs that are like super nice. And you have a ball cleaner on your freaking cart, and there's a cart girl that comes around and gives you a drink, and you have the GPS things, and none of that even matters because you still suck at golf. It's like, I have all this stuff to my disposal, but nothing matters,
And then the best part is that when you go to a course, like that's how it on the inside. That's truthfully how it is. But then it's funny, like in your head, how much that changes. Because then you go to like another public course that doesn't have a cart girl.
Yeah.
And then they have it's only 9 holes. You don't have the GPS, you don't have the cleaners.
Yeah.
You almost go to these golf courses and you're like, it almost feels like, why am I playing golf here? I should be. You have this false sense of entitlement.
Yes, that's true.
That's the joys of public golf.
Or yeah, you go to like a town golf course, you see someone playing with their shirt off. It's like
that used to be my grandpa. My grandpa used to do that all the time.
What we're trying to say here is that when you're playing bad, if you look good, somehow that makes you feel good. And so you might spend more money on stuff, give you that false sense of hope, because then all of a sudden you think, okay, I hit one good shot, I also looked good. Maybe it's my clothes.
Right.
Maybe it's the fact that, and so you dream. In March, you're like, okay, when you buy stuff, all of the thoughts you have are about all the good things you're going to do. And really what it should be is, buy this shirt, you still get a double bogey. Buy this shirt, even though it's half off, and it's a brand name, you still hit it in the woods. Because it should be the reality of it. It's like, buy these clothes, oh my gosh. Here, these Under Armour pants that fit really nice. You're still going to shank it. I mean, put it how it is and just say, you know what? Don't give us this false sense of hope. But then maybe there won't be people buying the stuff anymore, and people won't be, getting golf memberships. I
feel like that's how we operate as a society. You can even segue it back to ice fishing. Mm-hmm. You look at all the stuff that we've gotten into and bought, and the accessories we bought, and there's certain things that you definitely need. Same as in golf, you need certain things to be able to do it. But
the fish finder, I got a fish finder midway through the season, caught 0 fish with it.
So it's the same thing.
But that could be a lake problem though.
There's a lot of this that I'm gonna say is the lake problem this year.
Yeah. Which also is what we say when we say, oh yeah, I haven't swung a golf club, even though you swung it like 15 times before you went on. I haven't swung my driver in a long time. I'm sorry I hit it to the left and almost killed the person on the hole going back. Even though
I haven't played a full round, but you're just at the simulator for 3 hours and played 18 holes in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Which we just did. I'm gonna leave that video in the description box down below. You should check that out. But yeah, the joys of being a scratch/public golf course golfer is it brings you back every year though. It's the same thing with ice fishing.
Well,
we ended with a horrible year. Yet the moment we can get on the ice next year, we'll be on the ice next year.
But everybody who wants to be in athletics or wants to be in sports, they look and okay, football. I can buy the jersey, but I'm not chiseled 230 pounds and 6'3" and can beat, just ball out.
Yeah.
So I can buy the jersey and feel cool. I can go watch basketball. I'm not 6'10". I can buy a Karl Anthony Towns jersey. I'm not 6'10". I don't have size 15 feet or whatever it is. I can't jump out the gym. I can't hit shots like crazy.
Yeah.
But with golf, there's hope because you see the golfers and you see, okay, that's what they're wearing. They're regular old Joes usually. Some of them look more chiseled than others, but still. And you think, okay, if I do that, I can still be like a rich. So every kid's dream is like, I want to be. I can even think back. When you're in elementary school, what do you want to be when you grow up? A basketball player. Well, the chances of that happening are very slim to none. But with golf, you can get the outfits and you can still feel like, okay, I can be a golfer.
Yeah.
And I think that's why all of us say to ourselves, we're going to buy that stuff. We're going to buy the better driver. We're going to buy the nice shorts. We're going to get the hats. We're going to do all this stuff because at least as we're doing it, we feel like we look the part.
Right.
And I think everybody wants to feel like they look the part when they want to be an athlete.
Yeah.
And I think that's why golf gets people to buy stuff.
Well, and you get, especially with golf, you get the opportunity to have a really good drive or a chip in.
Yeah.
And I feel like at some point, no matter really your skill level on golf, if you go play somewhat regularly, you're going to have that opportunity to you're going to chip one in.
Yep.
And that's all you're going to talk about for the next 3 golf seasons. But you don't have typically, maybe in high school and college and stuff, but there's slim chance that you make it, to be able to play basketball professionally
or you can
baseball.
Dunk. You can chip in from 40 yards out.
Yeah.
But you can't dunk.
No.
You can't change the fact that you're 6 foot and you can't jump as far.
Right.
But you can maybe connect on one nice chip and it chips in just like somebody on the pros would.
And
you might be wearing the same clothes. You might be feeling like the same thing. And so it gives you that hope I can be better than what I am. I get this extra, I can out kick my coverage basically. Like how we did with our wives.
Exactly.
So
shout out Kristen and
Betsy. Yeah. So, but I think that's why golf gets you, and then that early part of the year, like we're talking about right now, when it's snowing outside. It's March 11th.
Yeah, March 11th, and we have a steady snowfall right now.
And we just were ice fishing. We're like, let's talk about golf. I think it's because we feel like if we get this gear, we get this positive mindset, we see ourselves within those other golfers that are on TV. And we know the camaraderie that we get to each other is worth it too.
Right.
But I think that's why people do that. But I also think it's funny because it's like, buy this shirt and you'll get, you won't sweat as much. But I'll still be sweating when I'm 8 feet away and I'm like, this is a straight putt and I hit it way left. I'm still going to be sweating.
You're right.
And I'm probably going to pit out on those shirts, even though they say moisture wicking, right?
Well, and then in your head, you're like, all right, you buy that stuff. You're like, all right, like I said before, you're going to be on the green in regulation. You're going to be tapping in for, a tap in for par, when really in actuality.
Don't talk about things that don't exist.
You're tapping in for double and triple bogey. We all are.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Yeah, it is funny. I feel like golf. I can't think of any other, especially sport. I can't think of any other sport where you have the opportunity on a daily basis
to feel like you're a pro,
to feel like it. And every time you watch on TV, I feel like that's also one of the starting points in the spring when the PGA season starts.
Yeah, when they're playing
so
start in Arizona
they're
stuff.
playing in
Florida,
all this warm weather.
Yeah.
And you see them on TV, then you really are like, okay, you see some of their shots and you're like, I know I can do that.
Yeah.
I had this chip in that I had in 2017. It was 35 yards out. And Tony Finau just won 3 tournaments in a row, but there's no reason I can't play, at least on the Corn Ferry Tour. At least on the Corn Ferry Tour I could play. Easy. There's no other sport that you can do that because outside of playing, men's league basketball or pickup game at the park or men's softball. Softball is a whole, that's a whole thing.
You might play well, but still it's on a way different level because you're not facing this. Like a golf course is a golf. Somebody who is a professional golfer could come to Wedgwood
Yeah.
and play, and could hit a drive or could probably outdrive us. Yes, that's fine. We're wimps on that. But like around the green and stuff, like they could be 15 yards out and chip it and be within 3 feet. We could be within 15 yards out and chip it with being 1 feet or a foot.
Yeah.
And like one's a professional golfer, one's just a regular public golf course player.
Yeah.
And that gives you that excitement of like I can still I can play, I can be something better, and it doesn't really say like there's that. Yes, consistently over time, of course, we're not like professional golfers, but everybody who plays golf plays because they're going to get some of those shots here and there that makes them feel like they could be a professional golfer.
100%.
And every kid, when they're little, says, I want to be a professional athlete. I mean, most kids.
Yeah.
And so it's that lifelong dream you're getting to live out on a daily basis for that one chance to get that one 15-foot putt in.
Yeah.
Or when you hit that in Wedgwood, you hit like that 50-foot putt. It's like you probably didn't you do that same shot like 70 times, you won't hit one of them.
No,
but that one
not
time
even
you
close.
did. And you can say like I was like so-and-so on the green because I did that and I saved par or I saved bogey or I
Saved double bogey.
Double bogey, yeah.
I got a 65-foot putt for a 7. And that's fine because that like you can carry that excitement and that weight. I mean, that carries you for sure into the next season.
Oh, yeah.
Easy. If not another season after that.
It for sure makes you buy three more golf shirts.
Oh, 100%.
And like 2 more golf hats.
I think immediately after I hit that, I think on the cart, I like changed my short par 4 to like once a month. I'm like, oh, well, if I'm going to hit putts like this, I need to have.
And how many of you out there with your buddies who you golf with, you show up again and you're like, how the hell do you have that shirt? I look like a I don't have it, you envy. Like, it's like, man, that looks nice. Where'd you get that from?
Right.
So-and-so. Okay, well, then on your phone, then buying it. Yeah. And so there's some of that where it's like, people come into the court, from the end of the day, you're sitting at the bar having a drink. It's like, that guy comes in wearing like a shirt tucked in, it says, they got, what's that company that has all the different hats that are like, it's like not Waggle Golf. It's
you know
what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like
oh my gosh.
They have shirts and everything else, and they're out. You can buy them at Shields.
There's like Bad Birdie.
That's one of them. Shirts like that. They come in, and it's like, okay, yep, he must know how he must play well. He shows you a scorecard. It's like 150.
Isn't it funny how that's your instant
thought?
Your instant thought is that person comes in well dressed, and you're like, oh my, he obviously knows what he's doing. Mm-hmm. He's got the fit.
So that's what I think people do. They're like, if I'm gonna play bad for a while and I'm learning and I'm a novice golfer, but I love to do it. I hit one good shot out here and there at a public golf course. If I look like I am the part, then I give that vibe off.
Yeah.
So if I can at least do that, I'll do that. Because I'm not going to hit it 300 yards.
Yeah.
But I can look like I do.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of this March time, for me at least, as somebody who's like looking at golf and wishing it was warm. I'm sitting there thinking, like, what am I going to wear? How am I going to look? What do my clubs look like? What, is there a better club out there? Even though it's like, I buy this extra, but this fairway wood, this hybrid club is supposed to do this, this, and this, but I can't even hit my 3-wood straight. It's like, well, I better buy that hybrid wood because that's going to help me.
I know I'll be hitting.
Well, you bought a hybrid. You've been hitting it well.
Now.
But
I remember, the one I bought it's actually it's just a straight 3-wood. But I hadn't played one for 2 years. I hadn't even had one in my set of clubs. And it took me a full season to even really figure out how to hit it. And yeah,
And now when you hit it, it's awesome, but at the same rate, like you might be able to cultivate another club you have and hit it just as good.
Right.
They get you on that kind of stuff, but that's why you do what you do. I mean,
that's why we love it. That's why we love golf, because we all like to spend the money. I don't care who you are. We all like to spend the money and buy this stuff and look the part. And that's one of the things of golf. If none of you guys have really played golf, I highly recommend you either hit even the simulator.
Yeah.
Like to just get a feel for swinging and playing. And it's one of those things that I've been playing golf since I was probably 4. And it took a back seat as you came through school and you're playing, basketball, football, baseball. Golf was always kind of took the back seat. But now getting back into it is just one of those things I would recommend all of you guys to at least go try to get into. The perfect place to start is at a public golf course.
Yeah, and when you get to when you talk about like, everybody's pretty nice. Like if you get up there and, you're going to be, someone's going to play through. Let's say you're playing slow. Someone comes up to you and they're like, everybody's got a sense of humility.
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, you're not playing well, I'm not playing well. We're all out here hacking, but we're having fun.
Right.
And
And you can be...
There's like camaraderie or like that brotherhood. It's like, or sisterhood too. Like where you're just like, everybody understands that we're just out here having fun and enjoying the outdoors weather. Your channel is all about the water and like being outdoors. Like
Yeah.
we need to be outdoors, and it's not playing video games and playing video game golf. It's like get outside and swing the club.
So like one of those things with golf, like on the flip side, it's crazy how fast you can be humbled in the game of golf. Mm-hmm. Like you go out there and you're having that, those few holes in a row you're putting together, where then all of a sudden your confidence is really rolling. But then all of a sudden maybe you're doing that and you're playing quick, you're playing fast, you roll in a birdie, you get a par, but then all of a sudden you're the guy that the next group lets play through, and you have all that swag in the world because you just hit, you're only one over after 3, and then you come up. But how fast?
You're in front of those guys. How many times are you playing public golf, course golf, and there's a lot, you end up playing through a lot because it's not everybody's like, it's my tee time and I'm this spot. See, yes. Where you let somebody play through and then you've been playing well, they're going to let you play through, and then you go up and hit in front of them, and you might even swing and miss, right? I mean, like...
You hit one sideways. I mean, that's the... And I know every one of you guys that has played golf have done this before, and it is the quickest way to bring you back to reality. Golf is one of those sports that I don't know. You need to experience it. You need to.
Yeah.
It's just like for anybody that is going to work in the restaurant world. Like, I feel like at some point in your life you need to work at a restaurant, whether it's quick service, full service, doesn't matter. It's one of those things that it kind of just sets you up for future embarrassments and future failures that are bound to happen. Golf is also one of those things. Like, you need to be able to go and hit a bad shot in front of people you don't know. Because there's the very few things.
Or at public courses when you do know them a lot of times.
That's almost worse.
Yeah, because you're like,
actually.
oh yeah, so and so I saw play golf and he just he hit one out in the left field. It's like
Paul hit one off Betty's forehead.
Yeah, well, but Betty's forehead has a lot of bounce, so
it did land in the fairway.
Yeah, landed in the fairway. It's all you need.
But on the flip side of like the dudes that will be all garbed out and everything. One of the people I appreciate the most, and it's the people you see at typically a public golf course, is the dudes that wear the jean shorts. Mm-hmm. They wear the t-shirt. They wear their work shirt. They don't even give a shit. They wear their shirt they're wearing to work. They got their tenny. They got their pair of mowing tennies that are in the back because they just got done, mowing their mom's or grandma's yard. So they put their green New Balances on. They're stained up Nikes, and they head out and golf. That's one of my favorite things, because you don't necessarily have to be all done up with the gear. You can be one of those guys that just doesn't even give a shit and goes out and plays, and that's the beauty of golf.
And there's no judgment either way. And I think that on a public golf course, that's where you see no judgment. Like, I think there's an appreciation at a public golf course of just people getting out and doing stuff.
Just the fact that
it doesn't
there.
matter that what you look like or what you're doing. We all have appreciation for saying, we're glad you're out there playing. There's that mutual respect of you're hitting good shots, maybe some bad shots. Nobody has to really worry about that. And that comes into play.
Yeah.
Private golf courses, I really feel like it's got to be, if you got to look the part, but you also got to play the part. Like, you can't
show up to Golden Valley Country Club with a tee time where you got, if there's two of you and then you're getting matched up with another twosome, or if there's, you get matched up with an extra person, or you go to the Wilds and, I guess the Wilds is public, but so we'll say, Golden Valley Country Club or Rochester Country Club.
Yeah.
You go pay the $180, you get the opportunity. Because being it's not public, we'll just say you get the opportunity to go play, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there and you got people teeing off every 6 minutes, and then you're hitting.
You're still looking for your ball in the weeds.
and you're hitting four.
And you only
drives,
brought 4
like,
balls because you're an idiot, and now you've lost all your balls.
Like that's not gonna fly.
No.
You go to any public course and
You say, hey, you got an extra ball? Sure. Yeah. I mean, how many times have I used a ball out of your bag? You know, like where it's like, you know, so what? Or we find a freaking, you know, Titleist, but it's a top flight, you know, Menards Open.
The X out and the Menards Open.
You know,
the top flight X out. You get the 30 pack in the nylon bag for.
and you just play that
$4.
ball, and you might even hit that. That might be your best shot. And I talk about my clubs. I don't clean them. I'm sure that I've hit some great shots with a top flight X out. Menards Open, or you know, Hardware Hank 9-hole tournament. You know,
The prize, the free gift bag.
the
ball.
Baumgars, the Baumgars par 3 challenge.
Yeah, it's funny. Like that's the beauty of golf. It's literally for the everyday person, guy or girl, man or woman. It doesn't matter. It's
And we're nothing against private course members. We're not saying that they're bad. We're not saying that that's not something that's important or great that's out there.
no, because they're fun to play.
Yeah, they're fun to play, and we played them before.
Yeah.
But I think it's also great to realize that the everyday person who could be sitting on his couch eating Doritos could also go out and play golf and feel like he's a pro.
Yeah.
And that's when you think about when you're a young child and you want to be I don't want to be a banker. I don't want to be, well, shout out to my dad. He's a great
Right.
banker.
Bankers are important.
Yeah,
We need them.
I don't want to be, I want to be a pro athlete. And so it gives that hope, even if you are a successful business person or a successful teacher or whatever else, you can play golf and feel like you're that professional athlete still. And I think that's what the joy is. Of all the sports, I can say to myself, when I play golf, I feel like I could be or could feel an ounce of what Tiger Woods felt or what, any of those professional, but you could say Rory McIlroy. Like what they feel when they hit a great shot, I might feel that same feeling.
Yeah.
When I play basketball, I might hit a shot, but I don't know if it's the same way.
I don't think so. I think you still you feel good about it.
Yeah.
You know, even if you're playing outside and we're outside playing horse or pig or 21, you can hit a shot and be happy about it. But I don't think it's the same.
But you didn't have the same defense against you.
Right.
You didn't have the same audience around. Like when you play golf, you actually are in the same spot that somebody would actually be.
Yeah.
To do the same shot that you're doing.
And there's a lot of really nice public golf courses that will play the same way a lot of the big courses will play.
Mm-hmm.
And like shout out Wedgwood, they do such an awesome job. Donnie and his whole crew out there do such a good job keeping that course. It's a link style course here in southern Minnesota. And it gives you an opportunity to play kind of a championship style course that, I don't know, they do a really nice job. So you really can extra put yourself into that position of like, that you see the guys. There's one here in Minnesota that they'll play the 3M Open, which is now a PGA sanctioned tournament. So you get a lot of like the huge names. That was a tournament that kind of Tony Finau broke through and won this last year. So it's like you could go play that same style course, hit the same type of shot that he hit, and
Well, I just was looking by your door here. I just found a golf ball that's just sitting there. It's a Callaway 2. What does that mean? It says Firebird, or no, Warbird. So, I mean, I'm saying to myself, okay, if I hit this, am I going to hit that better of a shot at this point? This ball, if I found it on the course, I'd be like, yes, I'm going to hit this.
well, it's funny you find that on the course. That's one of those balls where you're like, holy shit, I found a Callaway. Same as like the ultimate top of the top.
Well, if we're finding the Callaway, here's the
Pro
thing.
V1.
If we're finding the Callaways on the course,
I mean, somebody lost it.
somebody lost it, which means it wasn't doing what it's supposed to be.
And when you find the Titleist Pro V1s, $60 for a pack of 12 golf balls. When you find those balls, and we all find them, it's very rare to find them, but when you do, somebody lost that ball the same way you did. And look at this right here.
There's another one.
Guess what this
We have
one is?
golf balls all over the place here.
Golf, baby. Ultra. The competition.
Michelob Ultra?
Wilson.
The Wilson Ultra
The Ultra
competition.
500 competition 1. Right here, baby. Shout out Ultra. There it is. No. And then you want to focus on it. There it is. Right there.
It's like how we can't focus on it either when we hit it.
The old Ultra 500. I mean, it doesn't matter. You find
So people lose. It doesn't matter. Like I like to question. I mean, probably I'm not smart enough to know about golf balls. I mean, I just am glad to have one because there's been times where I've lost them all, and then I'm asking Mike for his tees and his golf ball. I have my club still. Good thing I can't ask for him
For now.
I'm left-handed. He's right-handed, so that wouldn't work. But
I'll end up with some lefties in my bag just in case. I'll find some.
But you know these I don't know, like you find them. It's like, well, somebody lost this one, so it's humbling experience to say, like what you were saying earlier, like, you know, it brings you down a notch and kind of keeps you in check because let's face it, we all think we're better than what we are, and it's good,
Especially in golf.
Yeah, it's good.
Especially in golf.
It's good to know that, you know, we're all kind of equal in some ways. I know the pros, they're not equal to us, but you still see them 3-putt. You still see them hit one in the water.
That's the fun part is you don't. Maybe when you're watching, you know, you're watching the Phoenix Open, you're watching the Waste Management Open, you're watching these tournaments, and it's crazy how quick they can pan away. You maybe not see it during the round, so all you're seeing is the guy that shoots even par, he shoots 4 under, he's got the round of his life, he's 10 under, he's 8 under, or whatever. All you're seeing is those shots, so that's what you're picturing in your head. But if you go to YouTube and type in Ricky Fowler, Rory McIlroy, Tiger Woods, all these golfers, they're duff shots, they're bad shots, they all hit them. Everybody does. You cannot have you can, but it's hard to do, have that perfect round of not one. Like, you could make the whole round and play it with the same ball, not lose the ball, for sure.
To me, that's kind of a win.
Yeah, if you come back up to the clubhouse to have a beer and you have the same exact ball you teed off with, that's one thing I really like. So we play in best ball tournaments. It's a whole nother topic of conversation is best balls. But there's one we play in. PJ, this was his first year with us this last year. So we'll play it again this year. It's one for the wrestling team in the town that I live in. And it's their fundraiser golf tournament. What you can do is you can pay X amount of dollars extra at the beginning and you get a yellow ball. It's got a number on it. Every single hole you have to alternate having somebody use that ball, and it has to be hit. You can't just put it in your bag and not use it the rest of the round. It has to be played every hole, and you have to change hands every time. And what you do is all of a sudden I'd start off, hit the yellow ball, good, we're done. It's got number 47 written on it. First hole, good. Then Paul would hit it the next hole. And then the next hole, Brandon would hit it. And then the next one, Zach hits it. And then Corey hits it. And then it comes back to me. And then I hit it again. And if you make it all 18 holes, you have your yellow ball. It's got your number on it. Everybody puts theirs in a little, essentially a drawing. And then they'll shuffle through or pick one out. And that winner wins money. And that's kind of one of the things with, I really don't know why I talked about that. I don't remember what
You were saying that basically to keep the same ball throughout the entire time.
Yeah, that's a special thing.
I mean, because I think that more often than not, people don't count those strokes as they do. Like when you I lost a ball, so what? Like you just kind of throw one out and you don't count it. But this is a way where you are held accountable to keep your ball. And if you can, all different golfers hit it, and you keep it till the end, that really is a sign of consistency just as much as anything else. Because there's enough bad shots that happen in a golf course where it's like, to keep one ball there is a big deal.
And we did that actually, I don't remember if it was 3-4 years ago at this golf tournament. We ended up having ours kept, and we were truthful. I know there's dudes out there that I'm sure
don't hit it every time.
Don't hit it.
Just kind of keep it in your bag. And
you getting close to the water, you maybe lift it up and hit a different ball over the water. But we truthfully hit it the whole time, kept it, and we went in and we ended up winning. And that was cool. I mean, it was like a few $100. We had one back, and we donated it. Part of it. I think we split it. Like the wrestling organization got half, and then we got half. But it was fun. It was one of those things that as a extreme amateur golfer, and then you already have the accomplishment of keeping that ball, but then you won money. You had this prize money. You won was really, that was a...
And I bet that ball wasn't a Pro V1. It was probably just a
That
regular
bad
old
boy,
yellow.
I'm pretty sure was I don't even think it had a name on
It
it.
was a mini golf ball.
It was...
I stole all the mini yellow golf balls from the mini golf course. And we were saying, like, you know, for the everyday golfer, kind of what this is about here, you know, not everybody has job. You know, everybody's job has downsides to it.
It doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
You can be self-employed.
You could love your job, but you still have downsides. But sometimes when you go out and play golf, it's like it's an escape from that. And so sometimes getting those shots here and there is almost a way to feel like I can break away or escape from my day-to-day business that can be kind of grueling.
Yeah.
And so maybe that's another reason why, you know, public golf courses where everybody can play it, you don't have to be a certain socioeconomic status to play it.
Yeah. You don't got to be making $250,000 a year to have a $15,000 membership at a country club.
And you know what? People who pay that still hit a 15-foot putt, and so can you at a public golf course.
Yeah, it doesn't
So,
matter.
you know,
So
and then
it's-
both those things create the same effect.
Yeah.
And in some ways, at public golf courses, it might mean more because you're not expected to always do that.
And on top of it, I don't know, you go out and play. I've played plenty of country clubs and very high end courses, and you hit that expectations there. So you hit that 15-foot putt. You and your buddy, or your 20-foot putt. You and your buddies can't run around and high fiving
No.
and yelling and jumping.
No.
You don't do that. You can't do that.
No.
At a public course, when you hit that shot, or you're in a best ball and your buddy chips in, all of a sudden now you drop a stroke. When you're freaking out running around, maybe
Yeah.
you do a shotgun, you're ripping
Yeah.
a shot of fireball. You can't do that. You
No,
can't
you
do
can't.
that on a private course.
No, and it's kind of a shame that you can't. I mean, unless you kind of sneak it, I guess. But you should be celebrating those things just as you celebrate in life. But I can tell you, there's been a good handful of times where I've gone golfing with you, and there's been things that have happened on the golf course that have really helped take me back to where I'm at in my regular life,
Yeah.
and feel better about it.
Oh yeah, it's
So
there's something
Yeah.
there's something about going with your best buddy. You meet up, you haven't seen each other in we'll say even once a week. So you see each other, you haven't seen each other for the week yet. Went over the weekend, and you've had whether it's a tough day at school, you had a tough day at home with the kids, you had a whatever showing houses, you didn't get the offer accepted, whatever. Yeah, there's one of those things that, and it maybe it's not golf for you, maybe it's fishing, maybe it's you go out and you're fishing with your buddy, and that's
whatever
what
you
look
do
forward
to lower anxiety, honestly.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
there's
and
things that
anxiety
you
comes
do.
in so many different
Yeah.
ways. It could be different for you than me, than you, and you than the other person. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Everybody has it in their own right and their own regard. It's something that makes them anxious, and golf is just the perfect outlet for that.
I think people can feel good about doing something that reflects the way life is. And now we're getting into really philosophical stuff. And we were talking earlier, before, not even on camera, about how the philosophical part of golf can be really reflective of life. But I think that's why people identify and like to play it. And they might not even be able to admit that. Some people probably don't think this deep, and we I am right now. But when things happen on the golf course, the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows, the good shots, the bad shots, the adversity you face, the fact that when you hit a bad shot, somebody's right there for you to make you feel better, and you encourage each other, all that stuff. It's really like life. And I think that's why people like to play it so much, because it reflects what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
But in a way that doesn't really matter. So I hit a bad shot on the golf course. I'm mad about it, but it doesn't matter. Am I still a good husband at home? Do I still provide care for my family? Am I still gainfully employed? Yes.
Yeah.
But the fact that you got to, it's the highs and lows in a kind of like a video game lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's outside of me. It's not part of my regular life.
Yeah.
I think that's why people do that, because it helps them to cope.
Yeah.
And so, in some ways, not to get too a psychology session here, I'm just saying that, and if you're thinking it is, I'm going to charge by the hour, by the minute. But
I think we'll go by the minute.
in a
for
minute.
sure.
But I just feel like that's why people do these things, because it's reflective of human life, and it's a way to cope with the highs and lows in their own daily life that really is a game is separate from your actual life, but
Yeah.
you can see the parallels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
The joys of golf. That's why I think we all love it and do it every year, and you can play it forever. It's like, like I said, I've been playing since I was very, very little, and I'm hoping I play it till I'm very, very old, and probably very
Probably
little.
play better when you're old, because the old guys, they just hit straight and they hit it shorter, but
Just
straight.
short and steady, just
And they always are.
versus when all of a sudden you're
You're
like,
like, I'm gonna hit a bomb, and you like shank it left.
and you hit it
Yeah.
two fairways over versus just the short and steady. I'm gonna chip it, par golf, bogey golf. They end the round, they're 7-8 over.
They're done by 4 o'clock in time for their
They're home for Matlock and Meatloaf. Bless all of your hearts that do that. Versus
Matlock and Meatloaf.
versus we're the dudes that are trying to absolutely just hit 350-yard bombs. It's 2 fairways over. It's into the cornfield this way.
And they blame the fact that they haven't swung in a while.
I haven't swung in a long
Or they say that
time.
somebody made a sound when they took a picture, did something with they talked on the phone when someone's radio was on in their golf cart. That's why they hit a bad shot.
The airplane up ahead.
The old guy's like, I
Yeah,
don't
you
care. You
give
can
a
yell
shit.
at me in my ear. I'm going to hit it straight for 130 yards. My next shot's going to be 130 yards. My next shot, 130 yards. Before I know it, I'm on a par 5. 1 putt, I'm done.
Boom, done.
Yeah,
Par,
yeah,
bogey.
yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yep.
Shooting for sure par, bogey golf every time. And that's the joy of this game, is you can start young, and you can as a young kid, you do the same thing. You're hitting a short, and maybe once you get past that learning curve a bit, but it's like you hit it short, you're on the green, go in. It's like we're right in this middle stage for us, like our middle stages in our life, where it's like,
Don't say that. Are we old? I'm 35. You're 34. You're gonna be 35 soon, aren't you?
I am going to be 35 in May, so
Yeah. Wow.
I'll be 35 this golf season.
That's crazy.
But that's young still.
Yeah.
We're young guns.
We probably shouldn't be talking about that, because people are way older than us. So
Right. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Golf is the perfect everyday game for
the everyday person.
the everyday person.
Yeah, and that's why you're talking about public course golf. And like we said, we're not against private course, but I feel like
No, I love playing a private course.
If we're gonna have a game for people to do it, no matter what the skill level is, you can have multi-generational. Like you're saying, you can be old and young.
Yeah.
Like how many things can you do with your grandpa?
Right,
That's
yeah.
the same thing. Like that's a big thing. Oh, grandpa, let's go out and play basketball. Well, my knees hurt. I can't jump. Like with your grandpa, you can go out and play golf.
You can go, you ride around in the
He'd probably
cart.
whoop your ass.
Oh, he will beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And you take your cart,
Yeah.
and you're not running and jumping.
No.
I mean, it's one of those things that Max Homa. I just watched an interview with Max Homa, and they had asked him. They said, "Are professional golfers athletes? Could you consider yourself a professional athlete?" And he's like, "Well, you look at physically. You look at a lot of the guys that like play football. You look at Josh Allen." Like a specimen like that. You look at Justin Jefferson. You look at those type of guys. And no, probably on paper, they don't stack up to
They
that.
can't run as fast. They can't jump as high. They can't. They don't have the same fast, quick twitch muscle movements. They can't cut as well. They can't lift as much.
No.
So all that stuff is different. Yes.
Yeah. But that's the cool part, though, is then you got, like, on the golf side, you got, like, John Daly. Like
Yeah.
John Daly, I think it was in his documentary, he said he drank, like, 35 Diet Cokes and smoked, like, 4.5 packs of cigarettes a day. Like...
But that goes back to you can maybe see yourself as an athlete in golf,
Yeah.
and it makes you feel like even though maybe I've let myself go and wish I wouldn't have, or I wasn't blessed with the physical physical attributes of some of these other people because of my head, my genetics. My parents aren't 6'5" each, and they all didn't play sports, and you can still feel like you're an athlete and still feel like you can do the things that you see on TV. On a much smaller scale, of course, but you can still do it, and so that's why it's relatable.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. Hence why we do it every year, and we come back to it.
And you can still it's something you can do when you have a little something to drink.
Little buzzer. This
there's not-
one's
yeah.
sponsored by
Fireball.
the whiskey for you.
If you watched our other videos,
Oh yeah, and hey,
you should watch our other videos. Honestly, Mikey Polis he's for the everyday guy in all of the stuff he does.
all of these videos, they're one of those things. I try to do stuff outside, whether it's fishing. Cheers to episode 1.
And we're green at this. We hope you like it, but we're brand new. But we think we have stuff to talk about. I'm sure we'll get better as we go along. But
we'll figure things out and doing this and doing that. But
right now, his kids and his wife are upstairs.
They're upstairs.
They're having mac and cheese. My kids and my wife are back at my house. I think they're watching a movie or something.
these guys are watching a movie upstairs.
We are regular guys, just regular doing stuff. Honestly,
Had a long week teaching. It's a weekend now.
Yep.
And
So I'm looking forward to doing this, kind of like golf.
Yeah, and it's the same type of thing. It's just we hope you guys dig the content. We hope you follow along in this journey. We're hoping it expands into something a lot bigger. Doing some stuff on location, and I don't know. We'll see what it turns into.
We don't have to. We're not trying to pose as somebody who we're not. We're just trying to be regular people who just do regular things and talk about how that's how we all are together. Kind of.
Yeah,
And like we all. And to highlight stuff that about the world or about places and things that your things, people, places, all your stuff about outdoors, how that's part of our world and we're humans, we get to experience it.
Yeah, and you don't have to be a professional in all of these things, like especially golf. To go play golf, you don't have to be this professional golfer with a USGA handicap. You don't have to have that stuff. You can just go out and play.
And if somebody does, tell them Mikey Polis says you don't have to worry about it, because if some of those people are like, they give you the look, it's like, you know what? F you, because
that's my MO.
The fact that person is buying that round and playing, helps the fact that the golf course is still open, which allows you to keep playing it.
Right, exactly.
So you shouldn't be mad about people playing who don't really play that well, because that's helping you to play more.
And at some point in time, you were that person.
Yes.
Maybe you were a little kid doing that same type of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe you were a young one. So in your head, it's like, well, I've been playing forever. But at some point in time, you were the starter, the green golfer.
Yeah.
So you probably had, when you went that first time, I can remember when I played.
You were probably nervous as hell.
And you probably had the dude behind you that was like,
creeping on you.
You probably had the guy behind you that was getting pissed off because it's like, well, why do we have their kid out here?
Yeah.
I'm trying to play golf. Everybody's at that point. It doesn't matter. You could have started golf when you were 3.
Not to interrupt, but you know what? I've taken my son Will, who is now 8, but when he was 6, I had so many people on public golf courses say, "That's so awesome! You're taking your kid out there." And he might take 7 shots on one
fine.
thing. But they're like, we're glad that you're out there playing. That's what public golf course has.
Yeah,
that's
what it's all
the
about.
culture. Yes.
And it doesn't matter. You could be at 6, 7 years old. 6 years old the first time Will played golf.
Yeah.
Or you could be 56 years old.
And be the same level almost.
Yeah. You could have been playing softball your whole life. You're making an adjustment. It's time to play golf. Maybe you didn't play any sport at all.
Yeah.
And you listened to this podcast. And then all of a sudden you were like, you know what? This sounds like a great time. Because you can wear a flannel shirt and a winter hat.
And if we were behind you playing golf, there's no chance that we're going to ridicule anything you guys do, because we are glad that you're out there playing and enjoying and playing, doing something outdoors and doing something athletic that's aerobic still for your health. You're not going to see us, and that's the way it should be. Public service announcement to all those people out there who say, well, why don't they play faster? Yes, there's a pace of play. And you can play through. And they should know that you should play through. But you should also be proud of the fact that people are out there playing the game.
Right? And on top of it, that could be their thing.
Yeah.
Mondays, maybe
they
have a really tough situation going on in their life.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Their thing is, I'm paying my money. I'm playing golf on Monday. I don't want to be rushed.
Just play through. We'll let you play through.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because there's been times where we're together and we both have families. We're both dads. We're going to probably add that to our podcast about being a dad and what it's like to
100%.
have a job and be a dad and everything else.
Yeah.
But when we're there to have our time together, we're not going to. We've even done this before. We're like, we're going to let these people play through because we don't want to rush our time.
You don't want to rush the round. It's all
it's
about
your time together, and then there's conversations that are had that are important, and so it's like, if you're playing out there, just play. Public golf courses are public for a reason. They're not for you have to be this level to play it.
Yeah. And if that is the case, and that's how you are,
we're not
then
playing there.
Go to a private golf course,
and and you won't see us there.
No, not at all. And I mean, if you invite us to play, we'll probably come play.
Yeah, if you're going to pay for it, if there's a dress code, we have the clothes.
We can look the part at least. But the public golf course is for the everyday person to get out and golf and have a good time. Don't rush anybody. Just try to relax.
Enjoy nature. All about the water.
All about the water.
We got stuff.
Look at right here
on his channel.
Right there.
We got things about ice fishing. We got things about snowmobiling. You got things about paddle boarding. You got things about
Snorkeling. Treasure hunting.
Yeah, treasure
snorkeling,
hunting.
Be on the boat.
Magnet fishing. Things that you can do outside and still enjoy the world that's been given to us. I mean, whether you believe in a higher power or not, there's this world that's for us to have fun with.
And in the
enjoy.
grand scheme of it, we're really not here for that long.
No.
Like, you look at
So you're a
the
bad
grand
golfer, you're not
scheme
going
of
to
life.
golf? Yeah, right. Go out there and do it. If you want to do it, do it. You only get one life to live.
Yeah. So go play.
Yeah.
The perfect spot to do it is at a public golf course. Make a tee time with your buddy. Get a cooler of beer. Who cares?
Yeah.
Go have a good time. That's what we do. We have a good time doing it. So hopefully you guys do too. Thank you so much for watching the first episode of Public Golf Course Podcast with Mikey.
And well, I'll go by Paul, I guess. Or Peach. Peach.
We'll go, with
Peach.
Mikey and Peach.
There you
Thank
go.
you so much for tuning into the episode. If you guys dig it, please be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our next episode. Again, we're going to try to drop one once a week. We're going to see what this thing does. If you guys dig it and you're interacting and liking and watch it, then obviously we're hopefully going to be able to do more.
We're here to kind of promote the idea that regular people can have a good life and do things outdoors, and we can all share in that joy, and we can all share in that sorrow.
Yeah, 100%, because there's the ups and downs, and we'll do them all together. So, again, if you guys dig it, please be sure to hit that thumbs up, hit the red subscribe button to not miss the next episode of the Public Golf Course Podcast. And with that, we'll catch you on the next one. Bye!